Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? It's Sarah back. So I'm so sorry that I've been so remiss in answering your questions on this channel. It's just been like really busy for me with the pandemic. And then, of course, I have all these like kids to take care of in business. But here are your questions that you've been posting to my channel. The first one is, can you send me the equity research reports at blah, 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 blah. So I'm not sending anybody anything, but I will actually put a link in this video below where you can just download them from Google Drive. I just graduated in finance. Do you have any examples of entry-level jobs for graduates without experience? Thank you. So that really depends on what your particular value-adding skills are. If you want to get into finance, there are a variety of different ways to do it. And when you just graduated from college, I'm assuming that is, you have the option of being able to experiment just a little bit. You do have a little bit of a parachute, so to speak, where people aren't going to really be holding you to it if you try something and experiment a little bit and then figure out that it's not for you. So I would say just get in however you can get in, really. If you, I started out as a writer, and so I would write these, they're called RFPs, and I got this great job at JP Morgan. And then after a few years, I was kind of interviewing around. I never ended up actually. Can you keep it down, please, honey? Because I'm just recording a video. Is that okay? Okay, thank you. I told you I have 4 kids. Anyways, I just got these interviews at JP Morgan in different departments, and I ended up never taking any of the positions, or maybe never got any of the jobs. But I would just say get in however you can get in. And at this point, it doesn't really even matter. Just get your best shot, take your best shot at going out there and showing your value into the marketplace and work hard. And if people see that you are a go-getter with a lot to offer, you have a good attitude, then trust me, things will open up for you. But what I think is great is to just maybe get one of these portfolio associate jobs if you wanted to. I mean, people say oh, I just graduated in finance. What do you want to do in finance? Investment banking, you pretty much have to be getting into a program. So if you didn't get in via recruiting via the program, you're probably not going to be in investment banking. But I would say go and a great job would be maintenance modeler. Go and just be learn Excel, or if you know Excel, just be propose to people, be I could do some modeling for you. I can help you update your models. And that, that would be a very good way to start and learn the ropes of modeling. You just, whatever you do, you want to make sure that it's leading to something else, because like I said, although you do have that kind of grace period when you graduate for a few years after, you can probably be okay with a few jumps. Once you get to be 3 or 4 years out, I think you really don't, because after you get to be 3, 4, 5 years out of school, people want to see a little bit more of a serious commitment to something, and jumping around at that point is a little bit too much. So I think that you should definitely be wary of don't hop too much, but I think you should, with whatever job you get, I think you should map out what would be the possible second and third jobs after that, or even within the company, where could I go after that? Just put some thought to the strategy. And again, if you just graduated in finance, I mean, for me, that says nothing to me about what your skills are, and you have to really be specific because this is very competitive. Hi, okay, next question. Hi, Sarah, can you go to a hedge fund after equity research analyst? And my other question, okay, can you go to a hedge fund after being an equity research analyst? Yes, absolutely. But like anything, you have to prove your value. You have to, normally you should have a dedicated kind of a focus on something, and you should have some results to speak of. So if you're an equity research analyst, these are very competitive jobs. You want to be able to say I advised my portfolio manager on this or that decision, which generated this or that result for the firm. I helped analyze and model on these amount of equities, and many of the recommendations were favorable. These are the ones that were, and these were the results, or whatever. You want to speak in the tangibles. You don't just want to be oh, I was an equity research analyst, everybody loved me, I was great. Everybody says that, you know what I'm saying? And as the employer, I'm really burdened to trust you because that's what everybody says. And how do I know you from the next person? But if you speak in concrete facts and tangibles, it's way less likely to come across as BS. My other question is the buy side analyst is the buy side analyst better to get a job in portfolio management and hedge funds than the sell side? Yes, I do think that that is true because on the buy side, I think on the buy side, it's easier to get into portfolio management from being a buy side analyst. And the reason is that portfolio management involves decision making about real money. And if you've been a buy side analyst, you've actually analyzed and made contributed to decisions about real money as opposed to being on the sell side, which is like oh, it was like a paper decision. Like no one actually moved any money. You could be a buy on one stock 1 week and then like 6 months later be a total like sell, reject, negative, get rid of it. Like, and there's no real consequences to it other than your reputation. Whereas with the buy side, a decision like that, that I think you would have some explaining to do because that would mean either very large capital gains or capital losses or, it's like some serious trading in your accounts probably. So yes, I think buy side is a better lining you up kind of a move for portfolio management than the sell side. But I'm biased. I had a much better experience on the buy side than the sell side. Very useful information. You don't just state the obvious. Thanks, Guy. I don't know how I will try to have a personal brand, but I would figure it out. Yes, keep in mind, like I'd much rather have you try and at least in the journey of getting there, have discoveries and get knowledge about yourself and your strengths and weaknesses. And so keep in mind, this process is iterative. And I understand that a lot of times when people say that, they're just kind of making an excuse for making mistakes, but I don't know. I just think that in the journey of us getting to know ourselves and our strengths, this never happens overnight, but I would make a good solid attempt at it. Second question, I will try to understand clients in a cultural level. Okay, sorry, this is a very long comment. I will specialize in my niche. My problem is that even summer internships are extrememely hard to get, even it requires you to know an extra language. Is there a way I can get more experience? Yes, I mean, right now, this is May of 2020 and we're in a pandemic. Like I've commented about before, there's a lot of difficulty, but at the same time, there's a lot of opportunity because with the layoffs, there are going to be a lot of companies that are looking for, someone that can just come in and as a freelancer, I would think, help on like a contract basis where even an intern is maybe a little bit too much of a stretch for companies at this point. If you could just come in and do like a few hours here or there, you just never know where that can lead. And so I would start with that. I've made other videos about this as well. Next question. Can you do a video on a week in the life of a portfolio manager? Holy smoky bokey. I mean, keep in mind, like I've not been a portfolio manager for about 10. I mean, I was never a full portfolio manager. I was always like an associate or like research analyst or whatever. So this has been, I think that would be really kind of a really involved video. And at this point, I just don't have the capacity to do that, but I'm going to leave your question here on my channel. And when I'm going to leave it in my held for review field. And so if I ever do get a large amount of time to devote to that, I definitely would. But I'm sure that there are other people that you could consult with on that. Like if you want to know what a week in the life of a portfolio manager is, then I would go and talk to portfolio managers and ask them. Because first of all, like I'm not current in the field anymore. Like I'm not even doing this as a job anymore, right? So I would think in terms of like the actual technologies and a lot of the processes and compliance and stuff, I'm still not probably the best person. Next question. I was applying for a part-time bachelor's degree in business administration in a college, but after they knew my age, working experience on my Hedge education level, which is foundation studies, they recommended me to go straight for an MBA program, which is cheap fees they charged. I'm not sure what that comment means, actually. If you want to elaborate, please feel free to comment below, whoever made this comment. I wondered if this is the right decision to choose or not, to stick to bachelor's or master's degree. Hold on. I was applying for a part-time bachelor's degree in business admin in college. I don't know if this question exactly makes sense, but I think you're saying that they kind of saw that maybe you needed more experience, more like extensive experience. in business. So they said for you to go for an MBA program, and it was not as expensive, I guess, as you thought, or something like that. I don't know. Whoever made this question, please comment and elaborate, because I don't really understand your question. I apologize, but the person who posted this question, you know who you are, so please elaborate. Sarah, why did you delete many of your videos? You had a motivational playlist that I used to listen to religiously. And then I said, well, what video did you miss? And then you responded back. You had a video about trying to improve a company's websites. You tried everything, and you even rocked up at the office and eventually managed to bag the client. Do you remember that video? You were hustling hard. I suppose I could go and republish that. Just some of those motivational videos were like a little bit crazy. Not that all of my videos aren't crazy, but that one especially was like, I think it was like screaming too hard or something. Like I don't know, it's like screaming too high or something like that. Like I screamed really hard in one of the videos. Too much, I screamed, I think, in one of them. Okay, and then there's like other random comments. But anyways, for the person that wanted the motivational videos, I don't know, I think like I have like a podcast, and it can be pretty motivational. Let me know if you want to know my URL. It's just on my website. It's just my name. Some of my podcasts are pretty motivational. A lot of them are posted here on my YouTube channel, in fact. Let me know what you want to be motivated about. I think it's more direct if you just post about like where you are in your career, or questions you would have, or something that might be demotivating. And a lot of times I can try to help turn that around and get you motivated. So anyways, everybody, thanks for watching. And like I said, sorry I haven't been responding on these Q&As, but post more questions here and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll all subscribe.